So I'm 53 years old and I feel like I'm 33. And some days you could even say maybe 29, if you can imagine that. And I really believe that a lot of it has to do with how I've redesigned my morning routine. And some of the things I do goes against traditional like morning routines. And I thought I would just share what that is because, well, it's been working for me and who knows, maybe it'll help you. So the very first thing that I will say is I've created these little tiny habits. And I did a whole video on this where I break down my little 1 minute tiny habits. And it helps me, number one, work out even the days that I don't work out, if you can imagine that. Because what I do is I wake up and I basically do push-ups. But I don't do push-ups yet that are on the floor. I do them against my counter and I do it immediately after I brush my teeth. Now, the reason why is because that tiny habit has been bolted onto another habit, which is basically something I do every day, and that is I brush my teeth. And so that right there alone has allowed me to get at least 50 push-ups in before the day even begins. So that's the first thing. And again, if you want to see that entire video, I'll go ahead and link it up in the description. But that's number one. All right. Now, the other thing that I do is I don't eat breakfast. I don't eat breakfast until I don't even call it breakfast. I call it lunch. And I'll tell you exactly what that looks like here in a minute. But some people call it intermittent fasting. And some people have said, oh, it's good for your mental state. It's good for your gut health and all of these things. And that might be true. But that's not why I do it, actually. I do it for another reason. The main reason that I do that is it actually is easier. I don't have to worry about fixing breakfast. I don't have to worry about cleaning up dishes. I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. So it makes my morning so much easier. And to be honest with you, I feel really good. But if you think about it, it does make a lot of sense. The intermittent fasting is like if I stop eating at 8 o'clock at night, which is typically what I do, I'll stop eating around 8 p.m. And from there, I don't eat again until the next day around 11, sometimes 12 o'clock. And that's it. So basically my stomach is basically working off of what I've already put in it. And the theory is that, if it doesn't have anything to pull from, it's going to pull from your fat cells. I'm not doing it for weight loss, although it could work, but I'm doing it more out of convenience. And yeah, there are some health benefits as people have said. I don't know 100%. I'm not a doctor, but I can say I definitely feel really good. But can you drink coffee? That was my big thing because I love my coffee. And the answer is, yeah, you can drink coffee, but you are not supposed to use cream because that can break your fast if you're intermittent fasting. Now, I decided to try coffee without cream. Now, I'm a cream guy. I like to have cream in my coffee. But I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and just try this. Let me go ahead and try and see if I can do black coffee. And honestly, I love it now. But I also like my afternoon coffee where I get to treat myself and I have a cream in it. And that way there, it, satisfies that need as well. And so I found that I can get away with just drinking black coffee. Now I do have about 3 cups. They're about 10-ounce cups. So I do drink some coffee. Now there has been some studies that say caffeine is good for you. Years ago, it wasn't good for you. I don't know what the science is behind it, but I know that I feel good and it satisfies me. So I'm cool with that. So then what I do though, the next thing is at around 11 o'clock, sometimes 12 o'clock, that's when I'll break my fast. And pretty much every single day, I have a perfect bar. That's it. I just have a perfect bar. They're about 320 calories. It's got some protein in there. I forget, it's like 12 or 15 grams of protein. I have that. And then immediately after that, I say immediately, maybe 30 minutes after that, I will have my protein shake. And I've been drinking Shakeology now for, probably 13 years. You can see videos on this channel where I'm actually making my shake 12 or 13 years ago. And I've been a customer and a consumer of that for years. And I love everything about it. It makes me feel good. And I actually feel like I'm drinking a Reese's Pieces type of shake. It doesn't even feel like it's a protein shake. So I know I'll get some questions as far as, okay, Scott, well, what's in the shake? It's pretty simple. I have some almond milk. I have a banana, about 3/4 of a banana, but it's frozen. And I have some ice cubes. Then I have a scoop of Shakeology, a scoop of collagen, and then I put in creatine and peanut butter. And that's it. That's the shake. I think it's around 350 calories, probably about 23 to 25 grams of protein. And that's it. That's what I have. And then in the afternoon, I'll have an apple, an orange, maybe a handful of nuts, and then I get ready for dinner. Now, one other thing that doesn't happen in the morning, which a lot of people do, and I'm not against it, but the reason why I don't do this is, well, there's a reason. And that is I don't work out in the morning. The only thing I do are my push-ups. Again, I went over my tiny habits, and that consists of basically push-ups and air squats. And what I do is I do my typical 50 push-ups against the counter first thing in the morning. Then when I'm making my coffee, I do 2 rounds of push-ups on the floor, 25, and then I do air squats during that same time. It takes me about a minute to do each set. Then I have my cup of coffee. Then when I want another cup of coffee, I do another round. That's it. But the reason why I don't work out in the morning isn't because I don't believe in it. It's because I don't want to get hurt. So I like to let my body get warmed up. So I usually work out usually in the afternoon, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon is typically when I'm going to do that. Now, I also only work out about 3 to 4 days a week. So now if you're paying attention, you can see the morning routine is pretty simple. Not working out, I'm not eating, and I'm just doing some basic exercises to get my body moving. And regardless if I worked out that day, at least I'm getting in some push-ups. And the great thing about this is I feel like I'm going to be able to do this for the rest of my life, honestly, because I've been doing this now for probably 2 years, maybe 3 years. So just as I turned 50, I started to kind of look into the intermittent fasting. And then I was like, well, I can kind of do that. It's actually easier and it doesn't take a lot of time. And then I can bolt on these tiny habits. So then I'm getting the workout in. So I'm getting my muscles loose and warm. And then if I want to work out in the afternoon, I'm ready. So it just kind of made sense. And I'm like, I can do this forever. And I really feel like I'm 33 years old again, like I said earlier, and some days 29. Now, I did talk about the tiny habits. And if you want to watch that video where I break down those tiny habits, I'm going to go ahead and put a video right there. Go ahead and watch it and you'll see exactly how you can do this. Literally 1 minute is all it takes. Right there. Watch it. I'll see you there.